going on, friends? If you didn't already have enough reasons to consider buying a used Harley-Davidson and doing a little work to it yourself, well, Harley-Davidson just gave us one more reason with the release of their new CVO RR that's supposedly going to cost $110,000. So I know that's not in the budget for a lot of us, but if you guys want an excellent quality motorcycle that you can jump on and ride without basically minimal issues, I definitely think it's really hard to beat the twin cam era motorcycle. There's just something about the look and the feel of the twin cam era motorcycles. Yes, it is arguable that they are not as reliable as the Evo, and I will second that as well. But one good thing about the twin cam era bikes is that you get a lot of the modern goodies without being just too overly modern. And not only that, depending on what you're after in a motorcycle, you can pick up a twin cam era motorcycle, either a carburetor or fuel injection. Now, obviously with the carburetor, we're going back to the 88. And the newer you buy, my personal opinion here, the less things you're going to have to do to the bike to actually get it where you want it. Guys, please don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now guys, I really want your opinions in which twin cam era motor do you think was the best? Did you like the 88s? Did you like the 96s? Did you like the 103s? I'll even take it a little further. Did you like maybe the factory 95s and obviously the factory 110s? I don't want to leave you guys out there. Now, when it comes to the twin cam, I did mention that the older you go, I feel like you're going to have to put more money into these bikes to get the power level and basically get some of the bugs worked out to make it a good, reliable rider that you can run out and jump on any day of the week or wait till the weekend and go out and fire it up. Now, obviously, the newer we get, the more power they have, but there's just something about the newer ones that gives you more of a basis to build on. A newer one, and I'm just going to throw this out there, let's say a 2012 or newer with a 103 is kind of my target area when it comes to buying a used motorcycle. The reason why I like the 103 is that, for one, it's already got the automatic compression releases in the heads. They have a little higher compression. They have already pretty decent horsepower and torque right out of the box. And let's be honest here, most people aren't going to do more to their motorcycle than a set of exhaust, an air cleaner, and a tuner on it. That's basically the majority of motorcycles out there. Now, some of us actually do take it a little further, maybe throw a cam in there, and then a little fewer go out and do the big bore kit, and even fewer go all the way with doing the heads and building a full-on high-performance engine. That's just the reality of things. Now, when it comes to buying a twin cam used, I do like the later model 103s. Number one, because these bikes are just modern enough for you to keep you happy, but they're not overly technical like the latest Harley-Davidsons and arguably even some of the first generation Milwaukee 8s. There's a lot more tech stuff in those engines versus what came in the twin cam 103. Yes, you can get a nice touchscreen digital display if that's your thing, but the big thing for me is that those last generations of 103s, all those bikes actually had on the touring bikes, you still had the analog gauges. There was a lot to love about those bikes. Now, I know it's just personal preference here, but I like the look of them, and I like the sound of them. I was really disappointed when the Milwaukee 8 came out because it really didn't thump like the twin cam 103 did, even though it did have more power, which was a nice bonus, and of course it did have some issues of its own when it first came out. Another big point to make on going out and seeking out a nice 103 is that you had all kinds of options, from the Dyna line to the Softail line into the touring line. There was multiple models out there, the same iteration of bike, to really fit your needs, like the Ultra Limited Low. It was an Ultra Limited, but just with a lower stance on it. And personally, you know, I'm about 5'7", 5'8". That allowed me to actually ride a large, full-dresser touring motorcycle. That was a great bike, it really was. And the 103 had plenty of power to pull them around. They're no rocket ship by any means, but they sound good. Yeah, they do run a little hot with the stock tuning, but nothing an aftermarket tuner can't fix. Put a little flash on there, put some fuel in it, maybe add a bigger oil cooler, add a fan of the oil cooler. There's a lot of things we can do with these bikes, and it's not going to break the bank versus buying a new one or an even later model motorcycle. And heck, who knows? Half of these bikes, buying them used, they may have already had this stuff done to it. So that's just an added bonus. Now, granted, everybody out there has their preference on which engine they like from Harley-Davidson. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with an 88 or a 96. All I'm going to say about an 88 or a 96, for one, you're definitely going to have to put a little bit more work into an 88 to get it to the power level. And also, I'm going to just say it, the reliability level that you'd like to have that basically came standard with the twin cam 103. 96, great motor. They run good. They're very reliable. They did have the compensator issue, but the 96, just personal opinion again, they were really underpowered for what they were hauling around when it came to touring bikes. They were okay in the dynos, okay in the Softails, but when you got into a large touring bike and you get it loaded down, they do feel a little sluggish. Yes, they had plenty of torque. They definitely didn't make a whole lot of horsepower. But once again, there, you're looking at possibly going to a big bore kit, maybe wanting to put a cam in it. I mean, those are all well and good things, but if you're trying to buy something that you can just jump on, ride, and enjoy without having to put a lot of money into it or have a lot of downtime, and maybe just the simple fact that you don't really feel like getting out there and doing it yourself anymore, it's really hard to kind of get away from doing all those things to an 88 or a 96. Great motors, plenty of torque. They're just lacking kind of in the horsepower department a little bit. And that's going to require you to put a big bore kit on it, put the cam in it, and then you're going to be looking at tuning it, getting it dyno tuned. I mean, I don't have a problem doing it, but I know a lot of folks out there, they really just want to buy a bike, be able to jump on it, ride it, and enjoy it. And for anybody that's looking for a used Harley-Davidson, it's really hard to beat the twin cam 103 models just for the looks, for the power right off the shelf. And as I mentioned, they're not overly technical. You got a little bit of new school and old school in there. Yes, they're fuel injected. I get it. Carburetors, I love them. They're easy to work on, but it's hard to beat going out there and just pushing the button and it fires right up. It idles down, it does its thing, nothing to worry about. And guys, fuel injection, it's pretty damn reliable. Hardly ever do we really have a lot of issues when it comes to the fuel injection on the twin cam bikes. Delphi is an excellent system. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have problems with it out there. I've seen problems with it myself, but there is enough aftermarket support out there for it that we don't need one part from Harley-Davidson, even when it comes to the electronics and the fuel injection anymore in this day and age. Now, I get it. A lot of you might be saying, well, I want a little more power. I'm going to go get a first generation Milwaukee 8. Yeah, that's a great way to go. I mean, to get more power without having to do a whole lot to the bike, but they had the sumping issue. I can't guarantee you that any Milwaukee 8 107 that you find out there, maybe a 114 from pre-2020, is actually going to have the updated oil pump in it. So that is a big risk in and of itself right there. Because if you have to get in the engine to do the updated oil pump, you're going to be on your own on this one. You're going to be buying the oil pump yourself. And I know me, if I'm going to be down there doing that, I put a new cam in it and a new cam plate. And the extra money I spent on that bike, I just spent even more money on it to get even more power out of it. And it kind of defeated the purpose of saving money because if I'm in there, I'm already going to do it. So guys, I am not knocking the Milwaukee 8 machines. They are excellent machines for the right person. But if you want a bike that you can go out, save a little money on, get something that still has a really good chop and thump to it when you fire it up, it's going to be reliable. It's hard to beat those twin cam 103s, especially if you get a 2012 or even a 2014 or later. That's even better after the Rushmore project. A lot of good updates on there. A lot of nice little tech features and creature comforts that I can definitely appreciate when I'm going on an all-day ride that's going to be just miles and miles and miles and nothing but running down the highway. But guys, let me know your opinion. What would you prefer? Would you get a twin cam 103 or would you rather go for a 107? Or heck, would you even go for the 88 or the 96 and tear it down, put a little money in it, and get it up to the power levels that you like? Which route would you go? Let me know down in the comments. But anyhow, guys, I apologize for taking a couple of weeks off. I had some technical difficulties with cameras, computers, and let's just say we fixed one thing and the bad situation gets worse. But hey, we're back now. We got some upgraded equipment, and I'm really looking forward to cranking out some new content for you guys. So appreciate you coming back to watch the video. But anyhow, guys, till next week, you stay safe on the streets, ride smart, dodge those cars, and I'll catch you guys back here next week with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.